One of the questions that comes up quite frequently on both the Facebook group and the forum is this situation where somebody's writing in 2-2 and they're really frustrated that the notation options are not handling their 2-2 passage the way that they'd like. So for instance, you've got a long note that's tied over a bar line and it goes over the midpoint of the bar, and in 4-4, Dorico by default is going to give you a dotted minim, dotted half, no problem. And in 2-2, Dorico is going to split it at the halfway point, and there's nothing you can really do about it apart from using forced duration. Same goes for a passage of semiquavers, sixteenths, where Dorico is beaming to the minim, to the half, because that's what the meter says, which is fine, but most of the time what you actually want is this. So one of the workarounds that is quite often posed is just to throw in a 4-4 somewhere. If I just delete this one, is to throw in a 4-4 somewhere and then hide it from the properties panel, hide time signature. Now the problem with that is that if you've got parts going on, even a hidden time signature is going to break multi-rests, multi-bar rests. So if I go to this flute part, you're going to see I've got one bar of 2-2 as a multi-bar rest, and then I've got 10 bars of they're actually 4-4 as a separate multi-bar rest. But if I put that in front of a player, apart from the fact they're going to go, well, what's the tempo and what's the name of the piece, they're going to go, well, why have I got one bar followed by 10 bars, and how should I count that, and why? So it's not ideal. And then, doing it manually is just a pain in the backside, because you're kind of doing, oh, well, I've got to, force that, and then when I do that, then it doesn't want to do that, and, then, I've got a Stream Deck in front of me, but even so, it's really frustrating to have to do this manually. So there's got to be a better way. And actually there is. It's just that it's taken me years to think of it. So way back in Dorico 1.2, they introduced this time signature property, common cut common, so that you can display basically anything as either a C or a cut C. So if I have a 2-2, I can display it as a common cut common. If I happen to have a 4-4, I can display it as a C. And that's just a property of the time signature. Now, it really depends exactly what you want to display here. But let's say you wanted to display 2-2 as a cut common, as a cut C. The way that I think is best to do this is to go to the music symbols editor, grab I'm in the time signatures category. I'm going to display common time as though it were a cut time. So I'm going to select the common time C, scrap it, go to the time signatures, the time signatures section, grab the cut C, and throw that in here. So that means that my common time glyph and my cut time glyph are identical. Then if I put in a 4-4 here, I can set this to common cut common, and it's going to display as a cut C. For that matter, if I just wanted to display it as 2-2, again, I can go to the music symbols editor, I can grab this common time up here, ditch the one that's already there, go to the time signatures range of Smoofle, Bravura, whatever, add a 2, add another 2, drag 1, 2 under the other 2. This is going to take a little bit of fiddling to get it just right. Hit OK, and now, when I hit this common cut common switch, it displays as 2-2. Obviously, there are different ways of displaying time signatures. You can have time signatures showing once per bracket above system object positions. I'll leave you to figure out which of these various common time large, narrow, plain you need to replace. But the point is, it should be possible to replace each of these with the requisite 2-2. And that way you can go in, enter a 4-4, and click this switch, and it's going to display as 2-2. And in the parts as well. Of course, the other thing is that from the music symbols editor, if it's useful to you in all your projects, you can use the save as default switch, and that way this setting will apply for all future projects.